who are these politicians we are talking about? The investigations are not going, but the incitements, the people who have been inciting, particularly that the former deputy president is on record inciting people who have a different opinion and telling people in his backyard that anybody who is having an alternative political opinion supporting President Ruto is a traitor, and the traitors must be punished. So the understanding of his supporters perhaps is that you must attack physically traitors, and he will be held personally responsible. And all other politicians who are engaging in these acts of violence will personally be held responsible. I see sometimes some of these politicians speaking about ICC, or take this one ICC and so forth. I don't know if they know that they are making their bed now and they will lie in it. It is important for every one of us to become aware of the act of their own acts, and we will take the necessary legal steps to bring all of them to face the law. I know even the banning of the UDA office in Wote, in Makueni, was organized by politicians, and the investigations are not going. So just give the DCI a few more hours, and those who are personally responsible will be held to account. It is very regrettable that there are politicians in this country who measure the success of opposition to the government by the number of innocent lives lost in the demonstrations they organize. This is the lowest form of politics and the most wicked manifestations of self-interest. To the leaders who have been profiling Kenyans of different political opinion and calling them traitors, we shall hold you personally responsible for the lives lost and property destroyed as a result of your statements. You will be answerable now and in the future. I commend Kenyans who went about their business in peace, and actually, largely in most parts of the country, Kenyans went about their business in peace, but also there are some public transport owners who protested in peace by just keeping off the transport system without really interrupting other people's lives. And we regret, in some cases, disruption of transport and businesses that have been looted. The ministries of energy and transport are taking steps to engage with transport stakeholders to explore the ways of addressing price increases, and we are confident that the talks will bear fruit. We are, however, concerned that although most parts of Kenya were peaceful, criminal elements in some parts have been mobilized and deployed by rogue politicians to target government projects, property, personal property, pro-government, and also property of pro-government leaders. The looting of Gachagua supermarkets owned by a member of parliament who supports government, the burning down of UDA offices in Wote in Makueni County, and the torching of 2 trucks at the site of Rironi Mau Summit flagship project are not coincidence, but a calculated move to spread fear and intimidate government supporters and innocent public servants. Coupled with the recent violent attacks on Ms. Rachel Wandeto, who passed on this morning, we are witnessing a clear scheme where a section of political class is making incendiary statements to fund intolerance and ethnic bigotry and organizing gangs to spread terror, sabotage government projects, and profile and intimidate those of different political opinion, especially those who support government. We wish to reassure the country that the government will do everything in its powers to protect lives and property, and at no time would lawlessness be allowed to take root in any part of our country. We will intensify our fight against organized crime and its sponsors who are hell-bent on propagating anarchy. Let us remain calm as Kenyans, as relevant government agencies address the issue of fuel prices. To those traveling, our security agencies are under instructions to ensure our safety. All the roads that were blocked have now been cleared. All part of Kirinyaga. There was an attempt in Rongai and in Kitengela, and a particular attempt in Kakamega. I dare say that the leaders of Matatu industry at that point in time never protested against the government. So the question you should be asking yourself, why did they feel that it was okay to understand President Uhuru Kenyatta, but when it is President William Ruto, they should go to the streets? You should ask yourself, why did they not stop their vehicles just less than 4 years ago? And why is it that in the administration of President William Ruto, they have stopped their vehicles from coming to the streets? There must be something. There must be a certain level of profiling that applies to William Ruto that does not apply to President Uhuru Kenyatta. And the guess is as good as, your guess is as good as mine. If you will give us credit for those who were opposed to the administration that time, you must give us credit for using constitutional means and using the floor of the House and giving alternative suggestions to how to handle the fuel crisis. We never organized one protest, no life was lost, no supermarket was looted, no person was targeted to be killed as a result of the higher fuel prices less than 5 years ago. Please, the transport sector, the way you understood President Uhuru Kenyatta and never went on strike just less than 5 years ago, that is the same way you should understand President William Ruto because he's in office. We are a different economy, we have different challenges, and we have different approaches to issues, but I don't think in the next few days you will be willing to ask the same question in terms of comparison of price, because the information we have is that as days go by, everybody is feeling the impact, even by our neighbors. So that difference you're speaking about is not significant enough for you to measure the difference. Let's give it another 2 weeks and let's have that discussion again. But the most competent institution to respond to your question, of course, is the Ministry of Energy, and you know, because of the meeting they have at the moment and the Treasury and so forth, they will answer that question accordingly. How come in many countries where they have higher fuel prices, why are they not protesting by stopping public transport? Logically, the fact that the fuel is there should have guaranteed public transport, maybe at some slight higher cost. Then when government comes in, they would ask themselves, do we cushion the fuel prices or cushion the service provider by giving certain subsidy? But to say the fuel is there and you are not going to be able to continue public transport, I think it's unfortunate. And I'll tell you, just ask yourself a fundamental question. There's a reason why 5 years ago, under the leadership of President Uhuru Kenyatta, the public transport owners do not go on strike. And they decided in this particular time, at this particular time, in the administration of President William Ruto, they went on strike. That is a question that should prick your conscience and the conscience of any person who is willing to think through this issue.